video. This one is a Christmas special. I think I've done one of these last year, possibly. Can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone last year. But yeah, so this video is a few fishing trips that I've done throughout the year, kind of clips all put together for like a little video. I must admit, it hasn't been the best year of fishing for me, in most part anyway. I've had some fantastic sessions. Every session is a brilliant session. Obviously, Angler's Paradise was phenomenal, always is. But most of the time, it's just been sort of fairly standard fishing, really. I haven't caught anything that I could say is out of the ordinary, really. Obviously, most of the fish from Angler's Paradise are always out of the ordinary because they're all funny colours and very bright. Couldn't think of much else, really. But it's been a great year anyway, and looking forward to next year's fishing. I cannot wait. It's very, very cold at the moment, so it's very hard to know where to fish. Most of the lakes around me at the moment are completely frozen. I'm going to be hitting a river, I think, and maybe a canal, if it's not frozen, in a couple of weeks' time. Apart from that, I haven't done a lot of fishing recently. I've got one more video left to edit, which I was fishing at Frobury Farm. Which was very tricky, very, very tricky, because it was freezing cold. But yeah, so this video is the first one, I think, especially of this year anyway, that I've edited using an editor on my laptop rather than my phone. So this is all going to be edited on Premiere Pro. So hopefully the quality won't have dropped any more than it already has throughout the year. So yeah, enjoy this one. So this first video, I was fishing at the incredible Gold Valley Lakes. Now, obviously, that's a very, very well-known complex of lakes, especially in the match scene. Now, I've never fished it before. I hadn't before this. And I didn't really know how to target it. So I thought, match tactics, I'll go with a light feeder rod setup, light float setup. Drove around when I got there, drove around a couple of lakes and ended up on Syndicate Lake. Yeah, I was quite surprised at the size of the fish that I caught, if I'm honest. So I was using a very light float rod to start with, 4-pound line at the very most. And yeah, the carp that I caught was sort of mid double figures, 15-poundish, the first one. Then moved over to the feeder and I had another one, similar size, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, it was a fantastic session considering how cold it was. So have a watch and enjoy. Okay, I've got a fish on. It went straight through the bush as I thought it might. I've still got part of the bush attached, which is not great. It's definitely a carp. And it knows exactly where to go. If I get this in, it'll be a miracle. It's going straight down the margin. God knows what else is going to be on the line. Not going to lie to you. That's quite a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Right, I've got to try and get set up now. It's very difficult in such a compact swim. And the fact that I've got a fish in the net, about 3 ton of twigs and branch on one end to try and sort out. But right, let's put the rod down, let some line off, and see what we can do. There we go, look at that. beast. Definitely over £10, maybe towards the 15 mark, I would think. Beautiful. Let's get it back, see if we can get another one. Well, I've got fish on the feeder. Just trying to move things out of the way. I don't think it's a carp. This is a small one. It's a bream. That's the carper's worst nightmare, but I love a bream. It's quite awkward when you're in a shelter to try and ship the landing net under the boat. There we go. Slabba-dabba-ding-dong. Very pleased with that. On the wafter, not just for carp. Let's slip her back. They do make a mess. Another fish on. Pretty sure it's another bream. Not really pulling back. They still give a good account for themselves in here. Lovely. Do the shorter landing net pole. Look at that. That was a beautiful big bream. Probably get on for £4 or £5, I reckon, that one. Absolutely beautiful. Let's slip her back. Long time, this one. Going hard left. I only assume it's another bream. If it is, it's quite a decent one, I think. It feels like it's got a lot of weight to it. This is a small carp. Slabba-dabba-ding-dong. I can't believe how well it goes for a bream. It looked like a bream anyway. Supercharged spring. not, it's a carp. I did think it seemed to be taking a little too much line for a bream. It's like quite a nice fish. Seems to have woken up. A good stand for fishing here though. Must admit, it feels like I've got a bit more control with this rod rather than the float rod was a little bit hairy. He's going for it. Christ, I think this one's bigger. Very, very lively. There we go, look at that. Absolutely stunning. This one's definitely around 15 pounds. There is a mat down here. Absolutely brilliant. Let's slip her back. Yeah, that really was an absolutely brilliant session. I can't believe, you know, Gold Valley is literally 15-20 minutes up the road from me, and I've never fished it. I think I've looked around it once before, many years ago. But yeah, definitely somewhere I'm going to be going back to. Maybe slightly more gunned up. Either way, maybe with slightly beefier tackle so that I can actually get these fish in a little bit easier rather than struggling like I did with the light feeder and float rod. So this next video, this one, I wasn't actually going to release it at all. I went on holiday with the family and my sister and her family to the Cotswolds water park, and this complex in particular had, how many lakes there? 3 lakes, 1 lake with massive carp, 1 lake with lots of ornamentals in, and a trout lake. So yeah, I think the only one I ended up fishing really was the ornamental type lake. I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head. Windrush Lake was out the front of our little villa, cottage, whatever you want to call it. That had very big carp into over 40 pound. Actually no, I did lure fish on there and caught a few little perch, but I didn't put any of that in the video because I didn't film any of it. And the other lakes I did film a little bit, catching a couple of very nice ornamental carp. I didn't actually fish the trout lake in the end because it was so weedy, and the only way that you were allowed to fish it was with a fly rod. I did take my fly rod with me, but the back cast was very short, and I hadn't actually used a fly rod at this point, so I decided against it, and just thought I'd fish the ornamental lake for a bit. But I can't recommend this sort of place or area enough. I've probably driven through the Cotswolds before, but I've never actually stayed there, and it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. I put that up right near the top of all the holidays I've ever been on. I absolutely loved it there. So yeah, have a watch. It's quite a short bit because it wasn't a very long video. Look at that behind me. This is Windrush Lake on the complex as well. This lake holds carp to over 40 pounds. But sadly, being a family holiday, I don't have a huge amount of time to spend fishing, so I won't be bothering on this one. Maybe next time. It does look very nice. hopefully that captured what I mean about the Cotswolds, as it is fantastic, absolutely stunning place. The prices are a little bit higher than I think the rest of the country. Just usual things, going out to eat and that kind of thing. Because of where it is, you will pay a little bit more, but in my opinion, worth every penny. Now, these next videos are from one of, if not my favourite places to go in the world, and that is Angler's Paradise. I went there with my good friend Steve. We were celebrating, both of us turning 40 this year. I feel 50, to be fair, but you know. So we thought we'd head here for our celebration for both of us turning 40 years old, and we had an absolutely incredible time catching everything from tiny little rudd all the way up to massive catfish. I can't recommend Angler's Paradise enough. I mean, the people there, like the owners, the people that run it, Xenia, Joe, all of the staff there, you know, Teggy and all the other kind of staff that run the place, just fantastic people. You really couldn't ask for a better place to go. It's just a shame we only went for a week. I mean, I reckon I could spend a month there and not be bored. There's that many lakes there, you know, well over 30 lakes. It's an incredible, incredible place. So have a watch of the videos and enjoy.
Yeah. No worries.
There we go, look at that, absolutely stunning. My first fish from Angler's Paradise, out of Magic Lake. I'm going to bring in my old mucker Steve. You fished this lake a lot more than I have.
I have.
Literally, this is my first time I've ever fished this lake, I think.
Yeah, it's my third time.
What have we got in here, you think?
It's a lot of koi, beautiful koi like this one, and a lot of carp. Commons, mirrors, levers, all sorts. And probably a few specials there in Angler's Paradise.
There's bound to be something in here that's either not supposed to be or...
Yeah, you could end up catching a 30-pound catfish out of here. Who knows?
Who knows? Right, well, let's get this little fella back. See if we can get you one.
Yeah, why not?
That there was an age noise. That's now what happens when I bend down to do anything. It's the 40-year-old grunt. Oh.
There's usually other noises that come from his behind as well. We won't speak about them.
But they happen. There's such a huge amount of fish here.
Do you want one of my specials?
I'll give it a go, see if it... I'd imagine it would probably have a similar result to this one.
Hello, my lord. I've got one of your special baits here.
Oh.
Is that all right, my lord?
Yes, thank you.
Don't worry. Anything else you want, my lord? No?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay, I'll go back to my dungeon.
You do that.
All right, yeah.
Don't come back for at least 3 days. You just sat there smiling. There we go, look at that. Another white one, but this one's a bit bigger. Absolutely beautiful fish. Absolutely stunning. The colours, although it looks just white. Steve's just hooked a fish in the background.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's almost... I think Wilson kind of called them a metallic. It's kind of got that metallic kind of look to it if you look really closely. Absolutely stunning. Ooh. It's getting a bit angry, so let's get this one back. And look at these absolute stunners to finish the day off.
Look at
so Steve's was 8.4.
8.4.
Mine was 8 on the nose.
8 on the nose. Absolutely amazing.
welcome to another video on the channel. Now today I am on Octopussy. Twenty-four and a half.
Nice.
A huge fish for the standards of this lake, but it's a catfish. Right, now the rules of Angler's Paradise are you can't lift the catfish up. So I will just lay her here for a moment. Maybe give her a little cuddle. There we go. Hopefully that captured it. You know, you can see by some of the videos and clips, you know, smiling from ear to ear, catching some of those fish and being at that place. We were unlucky and lucky both at the same time. You know, for sun worshippers, it would have been fantastic. You know, we had well over 30 degrees sort of most days. It was scorching. But me and Steve, we're not fans of the heat. So it was difficult for us, but you know, the fishing was still fantastic. We caught God knows how many fish, and can't wait to go back. On this next video, I headed to the River Blackwater. I was in search of chub, biggish chub or any chub really. Well, any fish really would have been nice. So I did 3 separate stretches of the River Blackwater. Shepherd's Meadow first of all, then I went to Hawley Meadow, I think it's called. Then I went to a section in Church Farm in Yateley. Now, I caught a fair few fish, but it was hard going. It really was hard fishing. The rivers themselves didn't make it easy. Especially the Shepherd's Meadow and Hawley Meadow are obviously not really looked after that much. I don't know, or not sure of the club that runs them, or if there is a club that runs them, but 80% of the river is unfishable. You just can't get anywhere near it. So I did what I could, and I did manage to pull it out of the bag at the very last minute, fishing it when the stretch in Yateley with a beautiful chub. I can't remember how big it was, £3, £3.5, £3.10, something like that. It was probably the smallest one, and that was in this little bunch of fish. There was about 3 or 4 chub, I think, and a barbel or 2, all right next to the bank, and I didn't see them. I was fishing the swim next to it. And the funny thing was, I'd thrown all of my bait. You know, I had a few maggots left, so I just gave them to the fish, and then started to walk off and set and pack up. And as I was packing up, I saw these fish in the edge and thought, you know, I've got no bait left. I've thrown it all in. But luckily, I had a pot of worms with me. I'm pretty sure that was what I used anyway. So I put a worm on, because I'd already taken the line, you know, float and everything off, and packed the rod away. And as I saw them, so I put the rod back on, the reel back on the rod, put the line back through, and just put 2 big swan shot on there on the line, and a size 12, 14 hook. Put the worm on, and it took seconds to catch one. Wasn't the biggest of the bunch, but I didn't care. It was absolutely fantastic. So, have a watch and enjoy. Well, good morning. Welcome to another video on the channel. It's a bit of a windy one and a bit of a bright one. But today I am down at the River Blackwater in Camberley, near Camberley, with classed as Camberley, at Shepherd's Meadow. Targeting this very small, kind of very shallow river at the moment for anything I can get really. Ideally some chub or roach, maybe some perch, but it's not very well maintained. I mean, if you look behind me here, that's the river. Can't get to any of this part at all. Now, I've fished here a couple of times before, and it does get like this way in the summer. There's normally a couple, well, maybe 3 or 4 swims on this whole section at Shepherd's Meadow. Maybe a couple more that you can actually fish. Most of it is very much like I've just seen, and like it is over here, where you just can't get close enough to the bank. But we'll have a little look along, see if we can find some spots to fish, and hopefully catch something. Okay, I just found a nice little glide. It's a little bit covered, as in tree lines, but the actual water looks okay. It's right on the edge of a bend. I'll just switch this round. So it's quite covered in here, but there's a bit of a glide that goes down towards the corner. So I'm going to get the plummet out, see what kind of depth we're at, and then I'll start feeding it with some maggots for probably 5 minutes or so, and then cast in, see what happens. Brilliant result. Just seeing them in the edge. Now, it wasn't the barbel. I don't think it was the biggest chub either, but look at that. Absolutely stunning. It's just under £4. It's £3 at 10. Just over half. 3.5 really. £3.10. What an absolutely beautiful fish. And what a way to end today. So thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. As you'd have seen by that last fish, it was stunning. Nice dark back on it, absolutely beautiful. Now this next video, not really much fishing in it from yours truly, because I didn't fish at all. I was asked by the Anglers Hideaway team. Anglers Hideaway is a tackle shop in Basingstoke. Absolutely fantastic. Go and check them out. But I was asked to do the filming for a match, the Anglers Hideaway fishing match at Seven Lakes Fishery. Now, Seven Lakes were very kind to us and gave us lakes. I think we could have had lakes 1 to 5, basically, but we didn't need lake 1. We didn't have enough people to fill that many lakes, so we used lake 2 to 5. And it was absolutely brilliant, you know, really good to film as well. There was plenty of fish caught. Not many carp, but it was just moving into the warmer months, if I remember correctly, so it was still quite cold, but sunny. So the carp just didn't play ball, but I think only 1 carp was caught out of all the people that were there. But it was really interesting to do. It was my first time I've actually filmed something like that and not really been fishing, well, not been fishing at all, and just walking around speaking to people and filming. So it was actually really interesting, and really interesting to make as well. So yeah, have a watch and enjoy. Well, here we are on the Seven Lakes complex for the Anglers Hideaway fishing match. Now we've got lakes 5 to 2 or 2 to 5, whichever way you want to put it. Plenty of anglers to see what we can catch. We'll see what they can catch, not me. I'm not fishing. So it's going to be interesting. Some are going just for silvers, some are going just for carp, some are going for both. So let's see what happens.
Kim, we're going.
Well, that's it. Match has started. We've done a 1 minute silence for Her Majesty before we started. Now that's it. Rod's in. Let's see what comes out. Here we go, look. It's the first fish. Look at that. Well done. Well, that didn't take you long. Actually, I should say, what took you so long, really?
What did you catch it on, Pete? Pace. Pace.
Well done. Look at that. God, that is lovely. Look at that. That is a beautiful looking fish.
Oi!
That is stunning. Wow.
We'll transfer it into
So what have we had so far? Did you say you had some
all rope.
fishing just close in on the float?
Yeah.
Here we've got Ryan in peg 1. One half of the lazy carpers, is that right?
That's right. Matt's boy showing us how to do it already.
What's your tactics then, Ellen? What we doing?
I'm using solid bags with a wafter as my bottom bait and just chucking it in the margins to see.
What, either side or?
Oh yeah, I've got one just down there.
Yeah.
And one out in the front. Oh no, one down there, sorry. I had one out in the front, but I moved it because there was loads of fish bushing down in the corner here. So I just chucked it down there.
Cool.
And hopefully can have a few out.
Cool. Any beeps? Any knocks?
Yeah, I had this drop back out there when this one was out there. And then I moved it down there, I had a few bleeps, so just,
Hopeful.
yeah, just a bit.
Cool. Hopefully some come along.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wow, it's going really, really well. Loads of fish coming out. I think there's only been one carp, I think, but lots and lots of silvers coming out, which is what it was all about, really. But yeah, perch, rudd, roach, the usuals. I'm in Jack's swim at the moment, and he's had a fair amount of fish. Here's the man. Stood in possibly the flyer. Is that roughly how many do you reckon you've had?
I've got about 50 to 60. A couple of roach, a couple of rods, a few perch.
Nice. Nice, yeah, I think you're definitely up there.
Hopefully. Just hopefully we get a nice little carp now.
I think that would seal the deal.
It would, definitely. We're out there. We're as far as we can be.
It's the boss hard at work.
Important business meeting, mate. That's what it is.
Right, we're at the end of the match now. Got about 5 minutes until the klaxon goes off. So we're going to start up at Lake 2 with the weigh-in. Myself and Nick are going to be weighing all the fish in. We're going to keep the weights away from everyone until we've finished, and then we'll let everyone know at the end how they've got on. It's been a blooming lovely day. Beautiful weather. Plenty of fish caught here at Seven Lakes. We'll see how everyone's got on. Now all this match has been for charity, and so far with the ticket sales for the match plus some tombola and raffle, so far it's raised, I think it was £1,100, and it's still climbing, so that is absolutely fantastic, all for the air ambulance. So yeah, absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic work by everyone. That's it, all weighed in, all the weights. Now we're going to head over and see who's won. Well, there we go, end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was good fun to make, obviously, being able to look back through some of the fishing sessions that I've done during the year. I didn't put them all on here because I didn't want the video to be ridiculously long, but you know, I put a few in and it was really, really fun to make. So all that's left to say is I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you in the new year, hopefully. Some new content, new venues. I can't wait. Thank you very much for watching.